Can you believe it's already that time of the year? WWE 2K25 screenshots are now being revealed and they look absolutely incredibly sick. And of course, it makes sense because WWE and 2K are taking advantage of all of this mainstream coverage surrounding the company after WWE Raw on Netflix. Let's take a look at these screenshots. Let's talk about WWE 2K25 and what to expect. And this should be a good one. Right off the rip, the one thing I'm noticing with these new screenshots is that it looks like these characters have new facial scans, which makes them just look a little bit more realistic. And this is something that 2K traditionally does very well. Player models are always really good in 2K. And obviously that's not going to be different anytime soon. With CM Punk and Damian Priest and Cody Rhodes and Liv Morgan, I mean, these look all up to date and they look really high quality, which is expected in 2025. Now, if we take a look at Steam, they've already added WWE 2K25. We just added it to our wish list. But what's really interesting is if you go to the About This Game section, they have a very bold claim. They say WWE 2K returns bigger, bolder, and better than ever in a breakthrough year for the franchise. We're preparing to charge down the ramp with game-changing features, iconic superstars, and all the authenticity and action fans love from the best in sports entertainment. More details on January 28th, 2025. So maybe that's when we'll get like our first official trailer. But this is very crazy to think of because they are 100% admitting that they will have some game-changing features. And I don't know if this is Steam just being a good salesperson here, but unfortunately 2K has been lacking on some of those game-changing features, and that's probably the most incredibly important part about this release, and we need to talk about that. Now, I'm just going to be very blunt. I think WWE 2K is a fun game from time to time, but the game always has a short lifespan, and I complain about this literally every single year, and every single year I am proven right. This is the reason why AEW Fight Forever was a failure. This is the reason why I no longer play WWE 2K24. The game is great. The graphics are great. However, I think we really do need game-changing features, and I'm sorry, but I don't feel like 2K is the company to get that down correctly, and I would like to be proven wrong, but the reality is WWE 2K is more focused on the microtransactions and the graphics and having a yearly supply of games every single year. However, you don't see that much innovation, and I think that's the biggest problem with video games in general. This is not just a WWE 2K issue. This is an issue that is seen across all video games. Call of Duty has been literally destroyed by hackers, but Call of Duty has no problem hitting you with updates for brand new skins and things that you can buy in the middle of the season. And here's the thing, they're asking you for money. You pay for a base rate of the game, and then they ask you for more downloadable content that you could pay for, and then the game doesn't even work or it's ran through by hackers. And let me just be very clear here. WWE 2K might not have a huge issue with hackers, but they have a massive issue with their servers being reliable. And this has been an issue forever. And I wish I could say it was just WWE 2K, but the reality is I have those same issues across all 2K platform games. So at the end of the day, I look at this as, wow, this looks great. And I'm sure their trailer is going to be amazing. And I'm sure they're going to give us a ton of great content leading up to the release of the game. But I can almost guarantee that WWE 2K25 will be a 100% failure if they do not provide really good servers and game-changing features. Because at the end of the day, if you want me to keep playing the game after 6 to 7, 8 months, you got to provide enough features. And unfortunately, 2K has shown us several times in the last few years that their priority is putting a game out, selling a lot of copies, and then after they reveal a whole bunch of DLC, that's where it pretty much ends. And listen, I think WWE 2K25 has so much potential because the core gameplay is good. It is good gameplay. But without good servers and without more features, I do think that is problematic. And people are going to look at me as a complainer here, and that is completely fine. I'm going to complain because I am one of those people who no longer play the game. And if you want to make more money and you want to keep selling the game, you should probably be providing the type of value that fans actually want. And listen, I'm just going to say this very, very, very simply. The reason why old wrestling games still get played today was because there wasn't a focus on microtransactions. The focus was on the physical game itself being good. And those are the kind of games that live on forever. The video game industry is incredibly lazy. The console industry is incredibly lazy. There's not a company, in my opinion, that is doing it right. I think the biggest thing here that people need to pay attention to is the fact that they are constantly limiting what you can do. And I think for 2K, who, by the way, has an amazing creative suite, that is simply not enough. You can add all the match types you want. That is simply not enough. But you know damn well 2K is going to be focused on microtransactions. They are going to be focused on MyFaction, which is a mode that I genuinely love. I love playing MyFaction. But if I don't have online servers that work really well, where there's no latency, then it becomes an issue. And it becomes an issue that I cannot solve, because that's the mode I would like to play. And I wouldn't mind spending more money on the mode, but you got to give me something to work with. Single player is not fun for me. I like online competitiveness. That's just simply never going to work with 2K working on WWE video games. And this is why I get a little bit more frustrated, because these screenshots that we're looking at today are absolutely incredible. They are really good screenshots, and I think they are really, really, really good. And I think it goes to show you how great 2K is at presenting a video game. I just think there is way more stuff missing, and it's very hard to get excited about a new release when I've gotten excited for the last several releases and constantly get disappointed. And here's the reality. Content creators are not going to speak up about this. People are not going to speak up about it. People are going to be quiet about it. But I want WWE 2K to do what they are good at, and that is by putting out a very good game where people will continue playing it, but there needs to be that focus on longevity. You can do all the stuff you want within universe mode. You can bring in creative finisher. You could bring in all these little modes, and that's awesome. And you could change the mechanics of the gameplay, and that's awesome, and that's cool. But really, it comes down to actually having a stable enough game where it works long term. And I don't think they provide that. And I don't know if that's going to change with WWE 2K25. And the reason why I say that is because of the most recent releases for 2K. Sports games in 2K have a huge latency problem online. This is something that's constantly happening. So for me, I don't get excited about a new release until it comes out. And, you know, I love the fact that they're building on what works, but there is still a long way to go before these games are a major success. And I truly don't believe that these games will be a success in my eyes until those things are handled. You can provide the best graphics, you could provide the best gameplay, but you need to have the types of modes that work. And the thing is, a lot of those modes that can keep you playing longer are the types of modes that require stability, and they just simply don't offer it. And they don't offer it again across their other titles, which makes it very difficult. And I think that's one of the biggest problems that I have. It makes it very sad, because I think they could provide the best game possible, but until they actually do that, it is going to be considered a actual failure, in my opinion. So listen, you guys decide for yourselves what you're going to do. You're not going to see me tell anybody to buy the game or not buy the game, but we got our first look at the game. Keep in mind, the game is going to be on new gen consoles and old gen consoles, which means there is going to be some technological differences between them. That's also another issue. It's 2025. They should be focused on innovating, not just graphically, but much more than that. So let me know what you guys think down below, and I appreciate you guys watching.
Turn it up, the Ango show, here we go. Rumor mill spin, every little sin. What's the new fallout? Who took a route out? Fans scream loud, make the show proud. Backstage drama, full of armor. Who's the charmer? Tag teams break dreams, plots.